you so much for watching my videos, and I hope you saw my big announcement. To some people they'll be like, oh, that's nothing too special. Well, to me it is. So we've been working behind the scenes for weeks now. You may have noticed I had a couple of videos that, well, they seem kind of old. Well, they were, because that gave me a little time to work on this major upgrades of our home. You know, 7 years on YouTube, I shared things that most people weren't willing to share. I took you into my home. I showed you my life in a way that most people would be embarrassed and they wouldn't share it. But you know, it's a journey. And I want to just say thank you. This video is a thank you to all of you, and a little bit of a timeline of my life here on YouTube. We moved into this home 12 years ago. The roof was leaking. The plumbing was awful. We had trash. The whole place was trashed. So it actually was a trashed place. On the outside, we had many truckloads of junk we had to haul out of here. And it was not livable, but we bought it as is because you know the story that we wanted to get out of debt. And I was thrown into a world that I didn't grow up in, and I was thrown into a world where we had to watch every cent that we had. And through all of that has really given me courage to step outside of my box and to share my life with all of you. I turned my camera on. I showed you in my cupboards of my water situation. I showed you what it was like to be me. And it was not a choice. We had to learn to live without. When we bought this property, we did not know the extent of the damage it had. We bought it as a cash sale because we wanted to totally get out of debt. And we did so all by ourselves. We paid off all of our debt, and we moved into here debt-free. But in moving here debt-free, because we had to pay cash for this place, that left us with nothing extra. And we had to establish ourselves all over again. And one of the reasons why I got on YouTube was because I was searching for ways to do things. Because I'm the kind of person that I have to see somebody doing it for me to understand. And I was searching and searching and searching for people who had issues like me, and I just wasn't finding it. I didn't know about rain barrels, and you can use rain barrels for water. I didn't know what to do when you didn't have no pipes, you know? I didn't know these things. For 12 years, I lived with this condition. And through the years, you saw me fix things as I had income. And the last year, I have really been working hard behind the scenes. Really working hard. Really working hard. And just because I'm a stay-at-home mom and my business is at home, that doesn't mean it was less work, because I worked and worked and worked to save money in order to be here sitting in front of all of you and saying thank you. What am I thanking you for? Well, you know what? About 85 to 90% of you were supportive. You said, you know what, Tessie, you can do it. Oh, try doing this and try doing that. Oh my word, Tessie, you're so inspiring to all of us that have issues with our homes. Tessie, it's okay. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's okay. Keep doing it. We understand why you're doing it. And then I had a few that wanted to challenge me and wanted to poke fun or wanted to condemn me or criticize me or, well, pretty much judge me for the reasons why I did what I did. And, you know, I find it very interesting how people can be, and I was very offended and very saddened. And, you know, for years I had anxiety disorder, and a lot of it was because of the critical people who made fun of me or said I was pretending. I even had somebody try to come up with the whole gossip about me that I really don't live here. I live in $1 million house. And this is just the home I stage my poor life so people pity me on the internet. I mean, people will say everything and anything. I think that is the most astonishing thing to me, is what people come up with, the lies they come up with, and just, you know, the critical spirit, because they don't like when people are open. There's so many people that are so cynical that they think that everybody is a liar in some sort, or everybody has something to hide. And I don't. And I shared it every single day, 365 days of the year for 7 years on YouTube. Be kind of hard to live that kind of life, you know, and it wouldn't be true. But I'm at a position now in my life where my hard work is paying off. Hubby really worked hard, physically worked hard, and I really worked hard financially. I really worked hard, and I never knew what it was like. I never knew what it was like to earn a paycheck. I never knew what it was like to earn money for a job well done. And I'm just so utterly looking at everything and just so feeling so blessed. I'm truly feeling blessed. While we do have a few little things here and there that we need to fix in our home is 180% different than what it was when we moved in. And I was keeping a secret. Like, I was just keeping it all so I could just share it in one video and share with you, you know, the transformation outside of our home. We have transformations inside of our home too. And in time you will see those things. And we're learning how to fix things. You know, we were flippers. So what we were is we were foreclosers, and we would buy properties, but my husband contracted out all the plumbing and the electrical work. Like, he contracted that out because he didn't know how to do that. So while we did a lot of cosmetic things, he didn't know how to do all of the technical stuff. And that's why we couldn't fix things right away, because the roof was so expensive. And if I would tell you how much we paid to get these trees cut down, it was in the thousands. Thousands. I think it was over 12,000. I'm thinking it was 16,000, but I have to ask hubby about that. But it was in the thousands. See, our whole property was full of trees around it, but they hung all over our home. And the reason why we had to get them totally cut down was we were invaded for a couple of years with spotted mountain fly, I think. And then we also got a very bad disease that affected elder trees in Pennsylvania, and the trees died. And then when we moved here, some of the trees were dead, and the place was just in a crazy mess. And so as we got money, we were cutting these trees down, because I'll tell you right now, these trees would have fell on the house if we wouldn't have done it. We love trees, and we still have our big maple in the front, and we still have a couple of the walnut trees in the back, because walnut trees, they'll last you forever. They don't seem to get diseases, but the pin oaks and all of them, they were getting the disease. And so we did all of that, and as the years went on, we did different things, and it was absolutely amazing to see the transformation. I used to tease my mom because my mom would clean, and she was so organized and obsessive, but her house was always so clean you couldn't tell that she cleaned because it was always perfect. Well, when we did all these things, it was like we were painting a canvas. And I used to say that all the time. I said, we're painting a canvas, you know, and watch everybody. And I waved my wand and everything would change and everything would look different. Especially with painting the house. When we painted the house 2 years ago now. That was 2 years ago. Or was it 3? Kenny, how many years ago did we paint the house?
2 years ago. This will be a 3rd year.
Yeah, this is the 3rd year. So, I mean, that was so dramatic. I mean, when we painted it, because we kept the same colors. You know, we kept it the green and we kept it the white. And so we were doing things as they needed to be done, because the house needed to be painted, because we painted it with this special paint. It was extremely expensive, but it was for metal because we have aluminum siding. So it was made to help restore our house. And now everything else is fixed, and eventually we want to get the new windows in, and that will be, you know, what we're doing. but all the major things in our home are fixed. And I just am so happy. And if it wasn't for YouTube and my other jobs online, I wouldn't have been able to do this. And I realized I'm going to be doing a video, so I don't really want to talk too much about it now, but in that video I'm talking about, you know, my income. You know, one thing I will say is when I first started my channel, we were considered under poverty level, and a lot of my videos were about poverty, and that's a mindset as well. And then when I started becoming out of that poverty line, my thinking had to change, because in my mind I was still in that poverty thinking. Kind of like this, and I'll give you this example. If you were used to wearing a 3X, and a point in my videos I was a 4X, I weighed over 268 pounds. People don't understand that I was extremely heavy. I'm 5'9", and I was getting towards the 300-pound mark when I hit rock bottom, and I changed my life in radical ways. And now I'm about 165, 175 pounds. And so I'm 5'9", and so a lot of things have changed in my life. But my mindset still is, when I see something, I look at the 2 and 3X's. And quite frankly, I wear a size medium pants, and I wear a size large tops. And I still have that mindset of 2 and 3X's. Now, I don't buy them, but I find myself looking at them and like, it's just crazy. And so my mindset was, you know, below poverty level. You know, with my kind of income, I never know what tomorrow's going to hold. You know, and I never know, you know, eventually I could get to below poverty level income again. But I will tell you, in the last year, a year and a half, my income has been extremely well. I've done very well with what I have been given. And I am very frugal when it comes to learning how to make an income and make it stretch. But we did put our money, all the money that I have been making these last 2 years, every cent of my money I've been making was turned back into making more income, or making some more income, or fixing our house. And secretly I was doing all these things. And so if you've seen a couple of videos of things, of me doing things yet a certain way, if you've been seeing a couple of those videos, those were older videos. I had to get them all out before all of a sudden you're like, Tessie, your house doesn't look like that anymore. Now, everything we did was things that needed to be done, things that would really help us in our property. Nothing was extravagant. But hubby loves plants, and hubby loves being outside and landscaping and taking care of his plants. So we bought more bushes, and we bought more things that will last us a lifetime. We live in a 1963 double wide that was not supposed to last this long. Our 1963 double wide, if I was a betting woman, I would love to bet on, I don't believe anybody else has a 1963 mobile home that looks as good as ours does, simply because they're not made to last so long. But yes, there was major problems with it, and there were major problems that we inherited when we bought it, and those major problems are gone now. And so we don't have anything that I would consider major that needs to be done. Now we have a lot of cosmetic things that we're going to be working on as we have money. We're done for this year. We did a whole lot. And then next year we'll start working on some more cosmetic things. And we'll take it from there. You know, God willing, I continue to make the income I can to better my life, to better my husband's life, and to better the lives of everyone around me. So my income doesn't just better me, doesn't just better my husband. We help our children out. We do things for our children, and we are very blessed. So my channel, you're going to continue to see extreme frugal living. Extreme frugal living so we can save the money, so we continue to do things to upgrade our property. At one point in our lives, hubby thought about moving, and I was not for it, but then I decided, okay, we could move. And that was after my parents died. And then we sat back and we really thought about it. Wait a minute. When we got our inheritance, we had got some inheritance, and it was like, do we want to use that money and do what we always did before? Take money and then go deeper into debt and then worry about that? Or do we want to stay where we're at, and as we get our funds, continue to upgrade our own home? And I'm so glad we did it this way, because we're still out of debt and we pay cash for things. And so as we get money, we work on it. And so we're not moving. And there's no reason to move. I put my life and my heart and my soul into this place, and living debt free. Yeah, it's not a mansion on a hill. Yeah, you know, it has its issues. But if something would ever happen to me or my husband, we could live the rest of our lives here and not worry about the finances, because it really does not cost a whole lot to keep this home going. In other words, the taxes and the electricity and things like that. But yes, having a YouTube channel and having my online business where I do my product reviews, that has changed my life drastically. And I have video proofs to show it. I mean, I look back at what our house looked like 6 years ago to what it looks like now on our property. It's like we just took this paintbrush and started dipping into the color and just transforming it. And so I want to thank you all. I'm not going to cry. Because I owe you all a debt of gratitude. Because you watched my videos. About 2 years into my channel, 3 years, I hit such a rock bottom when my husband and issues and job, and I didn't know where the next paycheck was going to come. And it took great courage to do all those things. And I was accused of, oh, she's an e-bagger. Look at her, she's saying her story because she wants pity and money. No, I was sharing my story because I wanted to share my life and how God has helped me through difficult times. And I wanted to share my life with all of you. It was not about being pitied. But I do have a lot of friends, and I do have a lot of people that took what I've been doing in my life and saying, Tessie, you're not alone. That meant more to me than anything. To know that I'm not alone. Because I didn't know what to do. But I just shared every day, okay, well, we're going to take the water out now because we have to. I don't know if I ever shared this, but the week after I had a gallbladder operation is when we had somebody come out and they said, you know, you have no pipes under your house. And at that time we had like, they call it, it was like plastic under the whole part of the house. And what happened was the water was just draining, and it was like a pool under the house because it had this plastic lining under it. I was done with my operation, and it was 7 days, not even a week, whole week. Oh, it was about a whole week, not more than that. I had to crawl, put my hands through it because I had to do it. My husband couldn't do it because of a problem he had with his leg that he had when he was 16. My husband has a rod in his leg from his femur the whole way down to close to his knee. So I still had stitches, and I took my hands and I pulled that plastic out. It was the hardest thing I ever had to do. But I knew it had to be done so the water could drain. And that day my life changed instantly because I didn't know that we were moved into a house that didn't virtually have a lot of plumbing. I was devastated to hear all that, you know? It was a nightmare. But it made me who I am today. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I want to thank you for what you've done for me. I want to thank again Prepper Princess, who literally changed my life overnight by giving me a shout out 5 years ago. And she knew that there was something that she could do to help me. And that's why I give channel shout outs. That's why I do things. That's why I pay it forward. I do a lot of things that people don't know. And, you know, even when money was really tight, we gave a certain amount of money each month to help somebody else. But it's because of all of you that watch my videos. And you continuing to watch my videos is continuing to help me. We have a ceiling in our living room that needs replaced because it's falling. And we have wood to keep it up. So we need to get that fixed. And by watching my videos, you're continually helping me. Because you're watching my videos, you're making an impact in my life. And you're helping me fulfill a dream. And that was to be a homesteader, to have flowers, to have plants, to have things that I enjoy. It's because of you watching my videos, I'm able to do these things. I'm able to buy that pack of seeds of a flower that is really unusual, and I work on trying to get it to germinate, and I'm learning how to do things. It's because of all of you. How can I not thank you? If I would have put these videos out these last 7 years and nobody would have watched me, nothing would have changed in my life. But it's because of the group of you. I want to really zone into this. The group of you who consistently watch me. I'm sure there's times that you felt like, oh my goodness, Tessie, you got another video out. But you consistently watch me on a regular type basis, whether it's 3 times a week or 4 times a week, or some of you watch me every day. You guys are the ones who make the difference in me every day, because you're watching me in such a consistent way that you're giving me views. And I want to thank you by watching me and being invested in my life. And somebody said, Tessie, I'm invested in your smile. Keep smiling. And I just want to thank you. No, life's not perfect. You know, I still got a lot of things, you know, we need to do. But I want you to know is I'm in a better place. Mentally, physically, and my home life, the way my home looks. I'm at a better place now because of all of you. And for that, I thank you. Take care, everyone. And you'll see me again tomorrow.
3, cheese.
The painters are done.